It's another Saturday, which means it's time for only one thing. Buckle up your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, and hold on tight. The Matt Malone Patreon League is about to begin! It started out as something small, a group of racers crashing into walls. Each week they would have some fun. Get ready for the bump and run. But now it's something more. Hold on to your butts. This is what you asked for. Get ready to go nuts. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. Get on track and join the big leagues. Prove yourself against the best. There's no time to stop, no time to rest. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. We're out of the racing bush leagues. Can you beat Malone himself? Get ready to brace yourself. In May it all began for the first time. Had some incidents that could be classified as war crime. But it's never over until it's over. Still waiting for a rollover. What a way to pass the time. But make sure to hide your crimes. Are you ready for the next one? The league has just begun. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. Get on track and join the big leagues. Prove yourself against the best. There's no time to stop, no time to rest. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. We're out of the racing bush leagues. Can you beat Malone himself? Get ready to brace yourself. A full-time streamer and a league organizer, a hot dogger and a merchandiser, an asset tech hero and a race lab god. Nothing he can do can make you bored. Matt Malone has the best mustache we ever did see. From his concrete days, he finally broke free. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. Get on track and join the big leagues. Prove yourself against the best. There's no time to stop, no time to rest. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. We're out of the racing bush leagues. Can you beat Malone himself? Get ready to brace yourself. Are you ready? It's about to begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hot dogging, it's Matt Malone.
And there we go, we are green here at Watkins Glen, and Casket Man has been black flagged on the line, jumping the start up towards turn number 1. Scrubbertron on the outside. Slugger has got it. That's Checkers up to P2. Casket Man come down pit lane. There's a spin in the background. I think that's Totally Racing. There comes Casket Man. And Totally Racing was the driver who went around in the background. Stingray Graham and Jeff Schnackle side by side. Look at the different lines that the different drivers are taking there. Sean Sims now looks to the inside of Turbo Snail for P number 11. He takes it. Sean Sims moves up the position. At the final corner, he was up inside the top 10 and just lost the rear end. Here, as he comes up towards the braking zone, has it been a loss all by himself? Scrubbertron from 4th position. It was Matt Malone on the outside of Checkers for P number 3. He's around the outside. It'll become the inside into turn 7. They remain clean and Matt Malone has to stay behind Checkers as he looks to the inside. Can he make a move up towards turn 5? He's got the inside line. He should be able to hold it here. As this is Matty Guell past Matt Malone. Up the inside of turn number 1. We're coming up towards the halfway mark. These are short races. No! Matty Guell! Around he goes, the championship leader. He slows down. He slams on his brakes. Has he been given a slowdown possibly? This is the Hernster though, running side by side with Big Al. Are they going to be able to do it? The Hernster on the inside into turn 6. The two Corvettes side by side into turn 7. The Hernster slows down just a little bit and allows Big Al through as Matt Malone has gone around. And he loses the rear end like we've seen before, but it's a big hit with the wall. Matty Guell has got a black flag and is down pit lane serving his black flag. As Big Al dives to the inside, he cuts back across and the Hernster looks to the inside, can't quite do it. Can he do anything here? Heading up towards turn number 5. Big Al goes for the defensive. The Hernster goes for the outside line. Can it turn into anything? They've got a lot of space to run off. And the Hernster has done it. Can he solidify the overtake for P5? Onto the brakes into 6th place. Yes, he can. Turbo Snail stuck on the outside right now with Big Al on the inside. Turbo Snail pushes it in the Mustang, taking the curb. He's going to hold the inside up towards turn number 6. It's going to be contact. They bump wheels as they go into turn 6, and there's more contact. Aulatufu is around. Shall we see what's happened to Turbo Snail at turn number 1? It's just another loss of the rear end, but he has been collected there from a Corvette. Can he do that as here comes Stingray Graham up the inside of Olsen X into turn number 1. What a lovely move, so smooth. Getting the slipstream, he moves to the inside. Mecom is going to go for 7th place up towards turn number 5. He's got it, but he's not got the overlap. Tony Jabroni pushes it to hold as wide as he can. So wide through the cones. He's definitely lost that position. He looks like his first point's going to be a top 10, or are they? He's into the wall. Tony Jabroni and Pawski swapping positions ahead. Bob's Jelly going back for 9th up the inside of turn number 1. That was facing the wrong way there. As here comes Buster became a gearhead, and this is past. Who's that ahead? A Corvette ahead. That's Tony Jabroni. This has turned into a 3-car fight. Bob's Jelly on the wide line in the Mustang. It's Tony Jabroni in the Corvette ahead. It's Buster became a Corvette behind. And Buster became a gearhead, also gets past Tony Jabroni, who has lost 2 positions there. And he is going to take his 2nd win of the season, converting his pole, and that's a spin in the background for Richard Dempsey. Dempsey is off on the last lap, but here is Slugger. He wins. Nick Bowen will take 2nd. Checkers will take third, and Richard Dempsey, what happened to you, son? He comes home in fourth. Welcome back, racing fans, and welcome to the virtual Portland International Circuit for the second to last round of the Matt Malone Patron League today in the FIA Formula 4s. With 9 rounds down and 2 more left, the championship fight is looking mighty close between Matty Gwill and Slugger. Slugger, Dempsey and Matty Gwill have 2 poles apiece this season, being the 3 drivers who have managed to put it at the front of the field for the start of the race more than once this season. Malone has another one of those poles, and so does Checkers and Extra Pickles. Will any of them be repeating that feat today, or are we going to see a new driver find their way to the top of the leaderboard and upset our championship contenders? With the win last week at Watkins Glen, Slugger ties most wins led this season, along with Matty Gwill, Richard Dempsey and Matt Malone, all with 2 apiece. Our only other race winner this season so far has been Air Taco, who won his one and only race of the season back at Charlotte Motor Speedway. As always, before we focus on the championship fight and today's event, let's have a brief look at the calendar for Season 1. And there's not a lot to look at this week, because next Saturday, on July 26th, our 3 months of iRacing League competition will come to a close at Daytona International Speedway in the GT3s. If you have missed any of the races so far, you can watch all race replays on the Beehive Bill YouTube channel, and if you don't have enough time to watch them all, the extended highlight videos are also available to watch. The Matt Malone Patron League continues here today at Watkins Glen International. If you want to get behind the virtual wheel and go head to head against Matt Malone and all our other league personalities, then head across to the Matt Malone's Patron and subscribe today. Even though next week is our last week, it is still open to all of Malone's Patriots, so we do see a widespread of skill level out on track each week. From those who have been racing on the service for more than a decade, and those who have just jumped onto iRacing this year, our drivers are all sharing the same piece of virtual tarmac to attain those Matt Malone prizes at the end of the season. With just 2 weeks left and 2 drop weeks already being applied, let's have a look at how the standings look heading into round 10. Slugger took full advantage of poor results of his competitors last time out, including Dempsey's last lap spin, demoting him from P2 to P4 at the very end of the race. He moves back into the lead of the championship, 12 points clear of his closest competitor, Matty Gwill. Slugger also has 5 championship points in hand, which were dropped a couple of weeks ago. Stingray Graham is the only other driver inside the top 10 with the same benefit. Richard Dempsey leads the fight for the final prize position, just 2 points clear of Aola Tufu and a further 3 points ahead of Matt Malone, who has dropped several places in the last few weeks and hasn't moved any higher than 100 points in the standings since round 7. Nick Bowen is leading the charge up towards Malone, Latufu and Dempsey with a strong second place result last week. Stingray Graham sits just behind, like I said, with 5 points in hand, followed very closely by Mecharm, Bob's Jelly and Checkers. Opened in 1961, the Portland International Raceway Circuit has hosted a number of significant events over the years, including kart, IndyCar, NASCAR Xfinity and the ARCA Menards. Without the chicane on the starting straight, the Formula 4s are going to charge hard around this laps, 9 turns on this layout and just under 2 miles. The mixed surface layout of asphalt and concrete produces some very fast laps. I hope you have your popcorn ready, because the Matt Malone Patron League is ready for round number 10. We're so ready, in fact, that we are here already in our league session, because qualifying has already been underway. We'll get you there in just 1 moment's time, so that you can all have a look at how qualifying is currently going. And here you go. We've got sessions out on the way. Slugger is the man on top here at qualifying so far. Halfway through this session, He is sitting with a 106.920, which is just ahead of Eric Osby-Martin, a new name in the league today, already causing some upset at the front. Totally Racing, Turbo Snail getting involved in there. Aula Tufu in 6th position, wanting to get involved. Matt Malone down in 8th, but Matty Gwill is the man who goes fastest here as he goes to the top of the standings at the moment in the number 6 machine. 10 minutes left on clock means we are halfway through the session. If you have missed any of the previous races, be sure to head over to the Beehive Build Broadcasting YouTube channel, where all of the previous live streams and the extended highlight videos are all going to be available. At the end of this league, we will also be doing a season recap video so you can catch up on everything that has happened in season number 1. Matty Gwill then, fastest man out on track right now in qualifying, halfway through this session. Checo's moved up to 13th position. He's 10th in the standings. He's had some really good top 5 results. He hasn't been here all the time though, which means that he's not been able to go to the championship fight, and he's had a couple of poor races. Dempsey, the man with the least amount of running inside the top 10, is somehow inside the top 3 in the standings. He's only raced 5 of the 9 races so far, but he has won 2 of them. He is only 22 points off of Matty Gwill, so technically there is some opportunity there. 25 points on offer for the race win, as that was Matt Malone who went fastest, and he has crashed the car as well, so he's going to be down pit lane. He's not going to be able to avoid repairing that car. Let's see if we can get some information up here. We've got some information up for drivers who are in today's session inside the top 10 in the championship. That is wrong, because Richard Dempsey for some reason is showing as 71 points. So I do not know why that is the case, but Richard Dempsey does in fact have 105 points. I don't know why that is showing Richard Dempsey as 71 points. He does in fact have 105 points. I know it is dropping his 2 worst results, not the fact that he has dropped 2 races he wasn't here for. But so that doesn't actually help us too much. It does in the fight between Slugger and Matty Gwill. Those points are accurate, as is Aula Tufu and Matt Malone. So I don't know why Richard Dempsey's is not. Therefore, we are only going to show you the top 4 in this championship fight right now, because they're the ones that are going to matter in this standings, that actually matter. Of course, Dempsey is involved in that top 5 championship fight for some reason. His points are not working this week. I will get them sorted for next time. Matt Malone, fastest in this session right now. He has got 1 pole position so far. If he goes for the second, we will get once again a repeated pole sitter, but yet again, nobody more than 2 poles so far this season. Will Eric Osby-Martin be the man to upset everyone in this championship and go for the pole position spot in his first race of the season, in the penultimate round of the season? That's going to be interesting. As we're coming up towards the final 5 minutes, Malone has decided to abandon any more running. It looks like he's off track. Matty Gwill is out on track along with Slugger, who we are looking at right now. Here he is in his current lap, a 108.8. is not a representative time. Let's see if we can ride on board with Slugger here and see what he can do in the FIA Formula 4s, the Team Turkey livery here, going through what is at this circuit turn number 1, because we do not have the chicane. Up into turn 3 now, and then one of the actually it is the slowest corner on the circuit, turn 4. Very easy to get the back end lost at that turn. Very easy to spin yourself around. Slugger doesn't do that though. He's pushing very nicely, a 33.1 in the first sector, and it's looking like that's about average from all the drivers. Slugger coming up to again, a really difficult point here. Very easy to get your rear end to turn around at Portland on a number of these circuits. On the exit of turn 4 is the case, and through that chicane, 6, 7 into 8. very easy to spin your car around, but that is a lap on board Slugger. He's got some toe at the end there. It's a 107.1, not Barcelona's 106.8, so he won't go any higher than 5th at the moment. Neil Trotter's out at the moment in his patron livery in the number 26 machine. Neil Trotter without a lap time alongside Jägelbomb right now. Mecharm improves on his time, goes up to 14th past Checkers. Matty Gwill is going to be looking to try and improve on his time here in 3rd, as he's only just off of Martin. So actually, if he could find the smallest amount, not only could he get Martin, he could get Malone as well. Into the final turn goes Matty Gwill. Can he do anything in the number 6 machine? Very close to Tyrrell on the outside. It looks like he's weaving, so it doesn't look like this is going to be the fastest lap for him. A 107.2 as he crosses the line, but he will go forward again. Let's ride on board with Matty Gwill, because he is now starting this one. Well, he's going to be wanting to start this one from pole. If he's able to get onto pole, Matty Gwill will be the first driver to breach 2 poles maximum this season. 2 wins is all we've got maximum from one person as well, sorry. Matty Gwill obviously going to be wanting to beat Slugger in that championship standings. Once again, let's show you those championship standings that we are going to be looking out for on the right-hand side. They are the current points. Richard Dempsey is in the mix. I don't know why his 105 points is not showing, but Dempsey does have 105 points. Do you know what? It's possible that I have accidentally typed in a number wrong for Richard Dempsey, which is why it is showing him so poorly in the championship standings. That is my fault. That will get corrected. Here comes Matty Gwill, though, up towards the line. Is it going to be an improvement on his 106.8? It's a 106.765, which is going to put him onto pole position. Matty Gwill moves into pole. Matt Malone is going to respond, is he? I thought he was. It looked like he started moving, but no, Matt Malone is not responding to Matty Gwill's push. And with just a couple of minutes left in the session, if Matt Malone wants to try and get back pole position, he's going to want to do it now. Can Martin, we've not looked at Martin so far, can Martin improve? This is a very slow lap right now in the number 19 machine, but can he do something? Eric Osprey Martin here, 3rd position. Can he upset Gwill and Malone out the front and move himself into pole position as we ride on board with the number 19 machine, heading in towards turn number 1. Gets it nice and tight into turn number 2 here. It's going to be some great racing, I'm sure. Some slipstream there. Brendan Lobb needing to go down pit lane for some issues. Up towards turn number 4 for Eric Osprey Martin. Little bit of grass on the inside. What is sector 1 going to be? A 33 is a good lap. 33.1 was what Matty Gwill was putting in. A 33.4 was a little bit slower. Sector 1, the longest sector on the lap, of course. Here comes sector 2. It's about to be over. A 13.6 is about a 10th off of Gwill's lap time in sector 2. Can Martin find any time in this last sector here? He needs to find about a 20 point. Well, I'd say if he wants to improve, he's going to want to find about a 20 flat. I don't think that's going to be possible here as he comes across. It is a 20.4, it's a 107.5, which is not near his time at all of 106.8. 7 tenths slower there for Martin. So he is not going to be improving on his lap time, but he still has another opportunity with that time. In fact, 2 more opportunities. Al Latufu out on circuit. Big Al. He sits in position 4 in the championship, 3rd in our championship tower standings because of the Richard Dempsey issues, and that is going to be we're going to be able to get a relatively accurate championship standings, but not a fully accurate championship standings because of the Richard Dempsey issue, and that is my mistake on that one. But around the final corner, and Big Al goes into the wall. Drivers are going to be coming up to finish their lap times now. Actually, do you know what? I might just cheat the championship standings for now to make it so Dempsey has the right amount of points. Let's see if I can cheat this championship standings for the moment. Let's close that. So Dempsey says he's got 71. He needs an additional 34 points. I can give him an additional 34 points, that's for sure. We will do that very quickly because why not? It's a good way to make sure that we actually have... No, that's the points. I don't want the points. I want the championship. Don't want the points. You can close. I want the championship. Here we go. So we get Dempsey an extra 37 points. Dempsey is P3, so let's give him 37 points. Oh, I think I see. I see my issue that I have done. I have left numbers blank instead of writing the number 0. And that means the drop points probably weren't being applied properly. Right, let's see if that works now with our championship standings, because we'd love to see it. There we go. We've got our top 5 displayed nicely with Dempsey involved in that, which is exactly what we want to see. That being said then, let's end our qualifying session there. And let's show our results here for the grid as drivers come to finish their lap times. But the championship standings are as shown there. So that was an issue that I had with... I've realised my issue now, and I have fixed my issue. So championship standings, that's your top 5 heading into this race today. That's the one that they are all going to be fighting for, trying to get their way to the lead of the standings. Slugger and Matty Gwill, the two that we really want to focus on. Let's look at where they are starting this race then. If I show the right session so we can see the qualifying grid. It's let's try that again. It's Matty Gwill on pole position for the race today. It's Matt Malone who will start in second. Eric Osby-Martin out of nowhere. Fantastic new driver starting in 3rd position, followed by Nick Bowen. Slugger will start in 5th, followed by Big Al. Then it is Richard Dempsey and Tony Jabroni. Turbo Stale starts in 9th, followed by Totally Racing. Checkers in 11th. Sean Sims in 12th. 13th is Extra Pickles, followed by Mech Arm. Mintu the White Husky will start in 15th, followed by Right Click. Ed Redfish in 17th, followed by Provi in 18th position. 19th position will be Dan Barone, another new name for us. Rory Bauman in 20th. Brendan Lobb will start in 21st, followed by Lap Traffic. DDO Deadman will start in 23rd. And Keegan Mantle, yet another new name, in 24th. The back of the field is going to be Neil Trotter, and a driver without a lap time, Jagelbaum, will start in 26th position. A number of drivers are here for today's race. And we are gridding up for the start of the race today. Round number 10, the penultimate round of the championship. Who is going to find themselves at the front of the field? It's Matty Gwill starting from pole ahead of Matt Malone. We are getting ready. 20 minutes on the timing tower.
Green, green, green.
And we are green. We are away here at Portland. Some slow starters in the background. It is going to make it 4-5 wide as we head up towards turn number 1. Matty Gwill has the inside line. Matt Malone on the outside is going to have to give it up. A little bit of contact. Cars already round in the background. 3-4 cars involved there off the racing circuit. Matty Gwill holds it. Eric Osby-Martin moves up into second. Matt Malone in third. Another car around. He gets collected by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. Lots of cars being collected in the background there. Slugger, championship contender, has got a neat ball flag. The championship contender of Slugger is going to be needing his 5 drop points that he picked up a couple of weeks ago. He is going to be down pit lane. Through the final turn we go. Matt Malone is in 3rd position right now, heading up towards the timing line. Roy Baumann moves up to 18th with a number of incidents. Didio Deadman out of this race as well. A lot of cars going out early. Eric Osby-Martin on the back end of Matty Grill here, up towards turn number 1. Didio Deadman, you can see, has got that the meatball flag as well, so also down pit lane. 2 drivers down pit lane, 2 drivers out of this race so far. As we continue on, lap number 2, about 18 laps expected here. Rory Baumann gets past Keegan Mansell, who runs off the circuit. But it is this fight that's quite interesting. So is the fight Turbo Snail on the back of Checkers. Checkers not too far off of Extra Pickles, but Martin right now. With Matty Grill leading the championship and Slugger out, that is going to have a huge effect on the championship standings. You can see that Matty Grill will move into the championship lead by 8 points ahead of Slugger right now. Slugger is regaining those 5 points that he dropped a couple of weeks ago because he is out of this race right now. Right click has moved past because Brendan Lobb is down and off. Eric Osby-Martin goes fastest and is going to go for the lead up the inside of Matty Grill. He moves through. That is going to be a great opportunity for Slugger here to be in a fight for the championship next week. As if Matty Grill can't hold this here. Let's see if we can get a replay of this overtake up towards turn number 1. This is Eric Osby-Martin behind Matty Grill. How is he going to do it? The slipstream, and he just goes for it. And Grill knows he needs to be safe. Matty Grill knows he needs to be safe, but he's back in it here, side by side with Martin. Backs out once more again. He knows he needs to be safe in this one. Dempsey, Big Al, Malone, all gaining about the same amount of points here. So they're all still together in the championship fight there on the left. That is in the background. Who is that? That's Big Al. Al Latufu trying to get past Matt Malone. Can he do it? Malone goes defensive because Malone is down to 4th from the start here. Side by side out in the lead. And that is going to be Martin onto the grass. Matty Grill regains the lead here. Dempsey, Malone and Big Al all involved just behind. They're all going to be wanting to move past Martin and try to get themselves further up the order and past Matty Grill, who is going to be leading this championship at this rate. It is great to see these live standings on the right-hand side. It is a fantastic addition that we've got this week, and we will have next week as well, so that we can keep up to date with the live championship fight inside this top 10 right now. But it is going to be Matty Grill leading the way ahead of Martin. Very close behind though. We're actually going to look on board with Big Al. He can see the fight all the way up to the lead. Matty Grill moves over to the left though, because he knows he's going to get the slipstream from the drivers behind. He goes to the inside line. Martin's like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to run this wider line here. Dempsey gets the fastest lap of the race, 106.588. That slipstream helping him out here. He is right behind Martin. Martin runs a slightly wider line, keeps it on track this time. Up into turn number 2 and onto the brakes for turn number 3. Dempsey not sure where to go to get past Eric Osby-Martin here. It's the first time they're racing him out on track in the Matt Malone Patreon League Series. So this is going to be a learning curve for them all in their fight against Martin here. Onto the back straight though. Technically this is turn number 5. This slight kink here before we get up to the chicanes toward the end. We're 5 minutes into this race. There's about 18 laps expected in this one because of how quick a lap is around here. Just over a minute. Up towards the brakes then. You've got to be careful when you want to brake, where you are when you hit the brakes. You don't turn the car around. Dempsey is right on the rear end of Martin here. There is some dust being kicked up, some smoke as well, as Big Al drops off the back. Checkers start to catch up. Checkers has got extra people and Turbo Snail on his rear. There is a further fight behind. We just can't see the fight for 6th and 10th because they're not in the session today. Matt Malone goes fastest and through goes Richard Dempsey to the lead. Past Martin and Grill goes through to the lead. Absolutely astonishing there. But and who's that off? I don't think it's anyone here. It looks like it's DDO Deadman who was off the circuit there and is out of this race. Slugger is back out on track. He is 2 laps down though. Like I said, he is getting those +5 points in the championship standings because of the drop week at round 8. That's where he is getting his 5 points, keeping him in contention here. Matty Gwill, Matt Malone, second and third. Richard Dempsey leading the way. You can see how that's affecting the standings on the right-hand side. Can Matt Malone try to knock Matty Gwill down the order? Matty Gwill loses it down to 4th, 5th. Actually, even if he moves it down to 3rd position, Matt Malone's only gaining 18. That would drop him 3. No, if he drops down to 4th, if Matty Gwill drops to 4th position, Slugger will retain the championship lead going into the final race next week. Here comes Matty Gwill though. He's on the wider line. Dempsey holds the inside line. Doesn't want to open the opportunity up. He doesn't allow it. Matty Gwill right on the rear though. This is all about being safe and conservative as well as being hard. One little tap in these cars and you are done. So it's all about trying to go for a clean move when it is possible. A little bit of a lock up there for Richard Dempsey. That is going to give Matty Gwill a great opportunity. But he pulls straight out of slipstream. He doesn't want to stick behind because look at this. He's got a slight overlap. He is definitely going to have been activating spotter. Matt Malone goes to the left to push Dempsey here, but goes 3 wide. Richard Dempsey, Matty Gwill, Matt Malone. Matt Malone backs out of it sensibly, but Eric Martin tries to get involved there. Doesn't allow it to be. Nick Bowen, a real shame for him, has got a meatball flag and will be down pit lane. Dempsey somehow leads the way, still ahead of Matty Gwill. Matt Malone in 3rd, Martin in 4th, Big Al in 5th position. These fight, because they're in such a train, they're not really pulling away from drives behind, but even though they're fighting, they're not really losing time either. Here goes Matt Malone up the inside of Matty Gwill for P2. Eric Martin follows through. He's going to fall down. Slugger's going to retain the championship lead at this point. Tied in points. Around goes Checkers. Checkers spins in the background. That is a shame. Let's see what's happened in this fight behind. Hopefully nothing happens out front whilst we're watching that. But Checkers looks like he has towed as well. Is it contact? Is it a mistake all on his own here? It's a mistake all on his own. He loses the rear end through 2. Well, through 1 and then into 2. He just spins. Checkers is out. And a real shame for his championship fight down in 10th because he was down in 10th position. As this is Dempsey moved to the right-hand side to really try and break that situation. Weaving ahead of Matt Malone as much as he can. Dempsey goes defensive. Both of these drivers have won 2 races so far this season. So has Matty Gwill. Eric Martin in his first race of the season. Big Al has finished in 2nd position 2 times. He's going to want to try and take that win, but he has dropped off a little bit from this lead fight now. Dempsey and Malone are fighting it out. At this rate, though, if it ends the way it currently is, our championship leaders will be tied on points heading into the final round next week in the GT3s. Matt Malone trying to get the slipstream on Dempsey here. Can he make it around the outside? Because this is the fight for 3rd in the championship between Dempsey, Malone and Big Al. Malone backs out of it. Not enough overlap from that far back into turn number 9. We're halfway through this race. 9 laps down, about 9 more laps to go if it continues at this pace. Malone once again getting the slipstream. Moves to the left-hand side, fighting it out for the lead up towards turn 1. Can Malone hold the lead? No. Dempsey's got the inside line as well. Malone's got to back out of that. There's no way you can hold it on the outside of turn number 1 and keep it on track if you want to keep the full pace up. So he backs out. He's down to 2nd position once more. 0.3 of a second as they head up towards turn number 4. All about the exit here because of the run. The slipstream from Malone is going to be helping him. Is he going to push it for another overtaking opportunity? Up towards turn number 6. He's going to move to the left. If he can get overlap here, it can be a move. Is he going to go for it? No, once again, he takes the safer option, but it could switch over to the inside. No, again, he swaps his line. Tries to force Dempsey into a mistake. Dempsey extremely wide there. Almost cuts off Malone's nose. Malone doesn't touch for any slipstream because he's already there. Is he going to get enough overlap this time before turn number 1 to hold on to this position? Here comes Martin. Malone on the outside, Dempsey on the inside. Surely this is Dempsey's corner again. It is. Looking at the championship standings when Matt Malone was in the lead, if Dempsey loses position to Martin, Malone will regain 3rd in this championship. He's right behind, up towards turn number 4. Can't make a move at the moment. It's 0.4 of a second behind. We are running out of time. About 7 laps to go when we go across this line this time. Matt Malone's not going to get anywhere near enough overlap to even scare Dempsey this lap, but he is going to close all the way in. Slugger, Checkers, both out of this race. DDO Deadman still in, but 7 laps down. A lap down is Lob, Bowen and Redfish. Matt Malone pushing it wide that time over the curbing. Could put him under attack from Eric Martin. Up towards the line they go. 2.5 tenths of a second. That slipstream pulling him in. Dempsey wanting to defend that inside line. Saw how Martin was able to take the lead from Matty Quill earlier, not wanting to leave that open on the inside. Car off the track just ahead, as that was almost Martin into the back of Malone, giving it just enough room between the gearbox and the front wing. Different racing lines heading up towards turn number 4 and onto the back straight with that little kink of turn 5 around the lane here. Matt Malone right on the gearbox of Richard Dempsey, moves to the left hand side. He's got his wheel overlap, but Dempsey knows Malone's going to back out of this. There's no way he's going to stay in. There's no point. It's too dangerous. That's exactly what happens. Richard Dempsey continues to lead. If he continues placing his car where he is, just keeping it on the outside into turn number 6 at the chicane, keeping it on the inside at turn number 1, there's just no way Matt Malone can make his way through. Once again, Malone has to go to the outside line. He doesn't want to risk it, jumping all the way to the inside. He's not had good race results lately. Even if he gets P2, it'll be his best result in weeks. He goes slightly wide. He just gets onto that curbing on the outside line. It opens the door here for Eric Martin. They're side by side. Malone's got the inside now, but he's going to swap over for turn 4. Martin's going to have the inside of Matt Malone. Matt Malone's going to allow it. He's going to go for the switchback and try to get the speed on the exit. A little bit of a slide from Martin here. Dempsey, heading into the last 5 minutes of this race, is now no longer under huge amounts of pressure. Matt Malone not even looking to go at the inside of Martin there. Is he trying to push him perhaps, even with some of the damage that you might get with the front wing if you tap him? Just sticking behind at the moment. Is that the smartest choice? His championship standings, he's fallen back behind Big Al with that position down to P number 3. If he gets up to P number 4 once again, he could gain on Big Al and get quite close to Richard Dempsey. But right now, it is going to be Dempsey under attack from Martin. Maybe Malone is giving Martin the opportunity to go for the lead here and really do some upset, but Martin doing the same line that Malone did last lap. Malone not able to get up the inside this time though, and Martin is just going to have to stick it out at the moment in P number 2. Heading up towards turn 4, different racing lines from all of them. A lock-up from the 19 is going to give Matt Malone an advantage here. Is he going to take advantage of it though? Or is he going to stay behind? Less than 5 minutes to go. It looks like he's staying behind once more. Trying to close up that gap to Dempsey. Not put Martin under pressure for making a mistake ahead of him and trying to just help him catch Dempsey and try to make a move for the lead. Rather, Martin take out Dempsey than himself, I'm sure, if there is going to be any sort of contact. But this race right now at the front has been extremely clean and extremely good. Dempsey once again gets straight across to the right-hand side of the circuit. Is Martin going to look for the inside? No, he's not. He's going to go for that outside line once more. This is about the 8th time that someone has tried to go around the outside at this turn number 1. It's never worked out. It doesn't work out again. Dempsey knows where to place that car, especially into turn number 1. It is going to be a last lap ditch effort, a really risky move for any of these drivers to get past Dempsey, I feel. A mistake from Dempsey would really help these drivers out. Keegan Mansell and Redfish follow Checkers and Sluggers out of this race. Didio Deadman, even though he's technically counted in this race, he has not turned a lap since lap number 4, so he is also out of this race. Again, even though Malone's sticking behind Martin not closing up to Dempsey as much as Malone was probably hoping, but he is a little bit closer into turn number 9 this time around. Dempsey again, a slightly wide line and a wobble. Here goes Martin. He's going to get the push from Malone, surely, for the lead. Dempsey is going to have to give up the lead. He's down to 3rd. Matt Malone is into 2nd position, into the lead. He's got the inside into turn number 1. Dempsey is trying to follow him through behind Martin. Martin and Dempsey are side by side. Martin is going to be on the wider line. He can't do it. Malone leads the way ahead of Dempsey, ahead of Martin. Matty Grill, not sure what he can do in P4. And Big Al just coming home in 5th behind there. This puts Richard Dempsey just a point ahead of Matt Malone in the championship fight. They're about 18, 19 points off the lead fight right now, which is still going to be tied if Matty Grill finishes in 4th. It will be even on points between Slugger and Matty Grill. Through the final turn they go, up towards the timing line. 2 laps to go. Richard Dempsey moves to the right. He's going to go for it. Matt Malone does not defend the inside line. He lets Dempsey have it. Why would he do that? You know the inside line is the stronger line, is the line you want. He had no intention of defending that line at all. Is he just wanting to be behind for the very end on the last lap, next lap? But Dempsey has done such a good job at defending that inside line. Then surely, without another mistake from Dempsey, there's not going to be an opportunity here. Matt Malone right behind. He swings to the right. There's a wall there. He swings to the left. Is he going to try and make this move this time as we come up to white flag? No, he's not. And by braking a little bit earlier, he increases the gap between himself and Dempsey. Are either of them going to make a mistake into turn 9? No. Malone is going to have to go for the inside, the risky inside move, all the way to the wall if he wants this position. Is he going to make it? He goes to the outside, the line that has not worked all race long. Dempsey holds the inside line. Surely it'll be the lead. Matt Malone holds it through turn 1. Through turn 2 he slides, but he's still there. He's up the inside of turn 3. All race long that outside line has not worked. Matt Malone has made it work. Dempsey's got the inside into turn 4. Is there going to be contact? There is a slight nudge. Dempsey's ahead though. Martin just behind. Malone in P2. What is going to happen here? They all follow each other. No. Martin wants to go for the inside. Matt Malone is there. Is it going to be 3 wide? Martin backs out. Malone does not back out. Side by side with Dempsey. He swaps over for turn 9. Dempsey's on the wide line. Matt Malone's on the inside line. Who's going to take this? It's going to be a drag race to the line. Dempsey's got the overlap. Richard Dempsey wins the 3rd time this season and will win at Portland just ahead of Matt Malone. Newcomer Eric Martin takes home P3. What a fantastic fight that was there as Mintu the White Husky gets past Dan Barone at the very end for 11th. Barone making a mistake there just at the very end of that lap. Let's just have One more watch here at the very end. Onboard Matt Malone, 3 wide. He tries sticking up the inside of Dempsey. He swaps it back for turn 9. He's got the overlap, but he can't put the full power down because he's got Malone on his outside line, Dempsey on his outside line. Dempsey just has more speed with that. And through goes Dempsey for the race lead. What a fantastic result. As you can see, the championship standings. Slugger and Matty Gwill tied on 144 points. Heading into the final race next week. Slugger DNFing this week. He got his 5 points back from a drop race. He is technically our championship leader ahead of Matty Gwill due to his results. Richard Dempsey is only 14 points back. If he's here next week, he has a true opportunity, if Slugger and Matty Gwill have issues, to win this championship. Matt Malone takes the position back past Big Al with 121 over 119. Let's have a look at our full race results after that one, because my word, that was a fantastic event. Richard Dempsey won that one just ahead of Matt Malone. Eric Martin took home P3. 4th place was for Matty Gwill and 5th was Big Al. Estra Pickles took home 6th ahead of Turbo Snail, Totally Racing, Right Click and Provi. Some great racing going on there. We were just so focused on the top fights in this one. Mintu the White Husky took home 11th ahead of Dan Barone. Sean Sims in 13th, followed by Rory Bauman, Meckham, Tony Jabroni, Brendan Lobb, Neil Trotter, Nick Bowen, and Keegan Mantle get the last points. If that is going to count for Keegan Mantle with the DNF 8 laps down, he may still get that single point in his first race of the season. Ed Redfish didn't finish the race either in 21st. Neither did Checkers, Sluggers, Didio Deadman, Jaegel Bomb, or Lap Traffic. What a fantastic race that has been, though. And let's see if we can see as much of our championship standings as we possibly can after that one. It was Slugger who is going to be leading the championship ahead of Matty Gwill going into next week's event. Richard Dempsey is in 3rd, followed by Matt Malone and Big Al. If I'm not mistaken, it is Stingray Graham who is going to be in 6th position. I'm not sure why his name is not showing up. Then it's Nick Bowen in 6th, followed by Meckham. And then in 9th position, I believe, is Bob's Jelly, followed by Checkers. So that is your top 10 of the championship after round 10. Just one more round left to go, and that will be at Daytona next week. If you want to catch up on all of the races so far this season, head across to the Beehive Bill Broadcasting YouTube channel, where you can watch all of the races and the extended highlights over there. Be sure to hit the follow button here on Twitch if you want to be notified when I go live so you don't miss a race. And please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can support the endeavour over there. I hope you have enjoyed this one as much as I have. And I will see you next week for the finale. Until then, goodbye.